Hello everybody, I'm Antonia and this is Noel and we are from Boxtail Soup Theatre Company and we are here in our studio again, and as you can see we've started to make a mess, which is a good sign. It means that we've started actually making the real stuff for Gulliver. So we've been looking over the R&D footage and then we got all the prototype stuff out of the store, got it all out, kind of saw what we'd made, and then are now making the real things. We made a list.
Yes. So, as I was trying to figure out earlier, we are quite limited for time. So we have to be ready to go for the Edinburgh Festival, which obviously starts at the beginning of August. The shows have got to be ready for then. We're finishing off the Grimm Tales tour this coming week. So all of that is out. And obviously we've got to get the rehearsals and everything in. That's all scheduled in before the festival. So we know that there's a limited window to get all this stuff made. And really what we wanted to do was just get going on it so that we feel like we've made a start at least. So that's what we've been doing, which has actually been really, really nice, hasn't it? It's been nice to be able to sort of look at that list, and even though there are some things that we haven't figured out yet, some things that we're not sure exactly what they will look like or how they will be made, there is a bunch of stuff on there that we thought, well, we can just get cracking on that. We can get that done now. So as you can see here, we've got, some bits and pieces that we've just been able to get started on and get done.
And part of that is due to the fact that we did the R&D, and so we made prototypes, which we've now been able to just basically, the ones we knew we liked, we've used as templates to make the real thing. So we liked the fact that we had a ship's wheel that broke in half. So you used the slightly shoddy one that I'd made for the R&D to make the real one. Although as Noel was doing it, he was like, yeah, this isn't really very even. You didn't really measure it, did you? I was like, no, I made it in like this 2 seconds. So it was a little more tricky, but so we've got it here. So I've started to papier-mâché one side of it. It's made out of 10mm foam board that is, again, some of the discarded stock that we had from before. So it's either slightly damaged or whatever. And this is leftovers from other shows. And it comes together very satisfyingly with some magnets. We don't need it to
bend it first.
Particularly hold that shape. Once it's papier-mâchéed over, we'll be able to pull it apart, but we're trying not to pull the magnets out. So yes, as you can see, I've started to cover this one. I'll get onto that one later. But that's nice. It's really satisfying to hold, actually. Obviously, you can't experience that, but just trust me, it is.
Yeah, it's quite an evocative shape, isn't it?
And then we've got
I like it.
Other flat props that we started to do. So we knew that for certain parts of Lilliput we wanted these flat ships, so I've made cut out three of those, which I'll start to cover later. What else have we got? Magnifying glass. It's nice weather today, so this is all dried really quickly.
If you well, let me finish
eggs.
The bits of stuff you've got
this
here.
This is an egg in the Lilliputian style. This is an egg in the Blefuscan style. Come and see the show to understand what that means, or read the book, if you will. And there's a bunch of other things. There's like maps and things that we've also cut out. You, meanwhile, have been making some ships' lanterns.
Yeah, some ships' lanterns. So the idea being that they need to have actual lights in them. So that
so
we're
going to
use some of these actual lights that we've used for several shows now. So that'll stick on there. There'll be another one on the other side. And then our little cage goes over the top and magnets on there.
Love magnets.
And then we've got various bits that will be fixed on to
Is that the side bit?
Fill it out and give it a...
That's the side bit, isn't it, I think? Anyway.
Maybe. So yeah, I'm putting together a couple of those. And it's, if you go back and look at the stuff that we had done for the R&D, then you can see the template versions of all these props. And it was really nice to have that, wasn't it? It was nice to be able to go, okay, well, there is some stuff that we can just get cracking on and get done. Because it all takes time. But then it means when we come back from the end of the tour now, we'll be able to look at some of the more complicated stuff and some of the things that we still need to figure out and know that some of this stuff is already ticked off, which is really nice.
Yeah, it's helpful. I've made myself a little piece of papier-mâché covered foam board here because I want to try what would happen if I use coffee and tea to stain it because I kind of want things to be that kind of old ship's maps or parchmenty kind of colour. So I know I've used that technique with clothing before. For Northanger, I tea stained my skirt that was white, and some of the puppet's trousers, but I've not tried it on this. So that's my experiment for in a minute to see what that will look like, because that's a decision we then need to make as well. Is the sort of general. I've got quite a strong idea of what colours I want. Noel's not sure. I haven't quite convinced Noel yet.
But this often happens. Often I'm not sure, and then it turns out that Antonia was right.
Not always.
When I see it and go, oh, yeah, you're right.
Not always. But sometimes it's helpful to see, like with the unicorn, I remember, from The Lion and the Unicorn, I did sort of 3 different iterations of colour combinations to look at, because the first one I'd done, I thought was right, but you weren't 100% sure. And then, to be fair, it's actually really useful to sometimes see alternatives, so that then you can actually go, no, it was the right thing after all. So that might be what happens again with this stuff. But it's nice. It's really good to get started.
It is great. Yeah. It does. It alleviates some of the stress you feel as well, I think, from having it kind of hanging over you in the future and thinking, right, there's a lot of stuff to make. Being able to just get started and get some of it done makes you feel like, okay.
We also always have to remind ourselves, we were saying the other day, that there are actually 2 of us. Because I think each of us independently end up looking at a list of things to make and think that we have to do it all, whereas actually you forget that there's obviously another person there as well. So that means it all gets done a little bit quicker. So yeah, so that's it for today really. We are back on tour next week. The show in Edinburgh is on sale.
It is, yeah.
People have already bought tickets, thank you so much.
Yes.
I'm very excited.
Which is absolutely brilliant, given that it
The
hasn't
brochure
really
isn't
been
even out
publicised.
yet,
Exactly, So that is amazing. If you are one of those people, thank you very much. And if you are somebody who's planning to come to Edinburgh, well, I guess book now. It would be lovely to see you there. That'd be great.
So as always, if you are enjoying our vlogs, please do like, subscribe, leave us a comment, ask us any questions you would like, and we will see you again next time.